All right. 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 What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic live stream for that ass today. Sincerely hope everybody is blessed, having a good one. Doc is having a fantastic day. Coming on a little bit later, internet issues. It's been going around, especially during the holiday season, so it's got the doc coming on a little bit late. I had some other things scheduled for today. Unfortunately, it didn't go down as planned. But if you guys come and join me today, thank you for spending your time with the good doc. Appreciate y'all coming through. See you, my boy Chris. Salute to you, my G. Official time check, 9:47 in the p.m. Eastern Standard, which makes it about 8:47 in the p.m. Central. 6:47 for everybody repping that West Coast. And of course, 10:47 in the a.m. Philippine Standard Time, wherever you guys are reporting in the world today. Maraming salamat sa lahat. And thank you guys for joining the good doc today. Chris, not yet, my G. But when I get back, man, we're going to get together. Facts. My man, Alaska Whiskey, he says that's everywhere in the next 10 years. I doubt most countries will be cheap in the near future. And that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? I wanted to further explain some things because I kind of felt like the last video that I posted in reference to foreigners are messing up the Philippine ecosystem. I'll tell you the truth. You guys took that video slightly more intense than I actually intended it to be. And anybody who catches the live streams, you guys may be able to understand what I was trying to say. In that particular video, I was jokingly saying that the fact that you guys are willing to pay more and spend more for services, it's going to cause those particular services or those particular rates to become the baseline, which is going to cause things to start to be a little bit more expensive. That was the reasoning behind me saying foreigners are messing up the Philippine ecosystem, not necessarily based off of demographics and stats and data and all of this shit. Because, of course, the more money we spend there, the better the economy is going to get for the local people. But what about us? All right? What about us? What about the foreigners, people? What about the average foreigner? All right? That's what people are failing to take into consideration. The fact that you guys are raising the bar daily on the daily basis for your average foreigner, that's no longer going to be the norm. What is normally affordable for your average foreigner in the Philippines is definitely going to start to become slightly less affordable as the years go along. That's basically what I was trying to say in that video, which is why I say foreigners are fucking up the ecosystem. And I'm saying that, like I said, it's a joke. It's not something that's literally meant to be taken. Oh, well, how could they be fucking it up if we're coming over there and spending our money and this, that, and the other? You guys want to take a more philosophical approach to something that was literally meant to be fun. I appreciate it. I mean, all dialogue about that particular video is warranted. And again, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but let's keep it real. The fact that you guys are willing to pay more for things that don't really cost as much, it's really going to mess it up for your average foreigner in the near future. And as the title says for this particular video, let's keep it 100% honest. I predict the Philippines will become unaffordable for the average foreigner within the next 10 years. Say it one more time. I predict that in the next 10 years, the Philippines economy will probably be progressed to the point where it will no longer be affordable for your average foreigner. And you got people like me who are happy or who are ecstatic and happy that, again, when you go to the Philippines, your money goes a little bit further. I used to say it goes a long way, but let me rephrase that and say that your money does go a little bit further in the Philippines. Because again, we do have to take into consideration, it is on average $1 to only 50 pesos, right? So, I can't really go out on a limb and say, it goes a long way. But it does. For your average foreigner, 50 pesos or 50 to the dollar, that's fantastic, but if you guys are starting to spend more because this particular dollar rate or whatever your currency is goes a long way than it does in your own home country, you guys start to spend and not comprehend exactly what you're doing. You're basically boosting an economy that we basically came to, or a country that we basically came to in the first place because our money was said to go a little bit further than it does in our own home countries. So when it no longer goes the distance that we predicted it would in the first place, then what does that leave us? What does that leave for the average foreigner? that wants to take the trip, it's no longer going to be enjoyable because you have to put more money towards your trip than you originally intended. Now, is that a bad thing? To an extent, not really. And the only reason I say that there is a positive to that is because it weeds out the how can I say this, the less attractive foreigners, or the foreigners that have the tendency to possibly mess it up for your other foreigners. Okay, so to an extent, the boosting of the economy doesn't necessarily, I'm sorry, the boosting of the economy and the increasing whatever the fuck I was talking about, I forgot because I'm old and shit. Anyways, that shit, it will help to weed out the less the foreigners that nobody really wants in the country. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. And it makes complete sense, but you do have some people who are not necessarily with that particular narrative. You understand? Not everybody's going to be okay with it. And I myself see that in the next 10 years, the Philippines will become unaffordable for your average foreigner. It will no longer be a destination. I believe it. I believe that in the next 10 years, the way that we are talking about the Philippines now, I don't think people are going to be talking about it the exact same way. And I'm giving it a decade. So we're talking about from 2020 to 2030, you're going to start to see a drastic change where the Philippines will likely no longer become the destination for your average foreigner. And that's just truth. And the reason it will no longer become the destination is because the money just doesn't go as far as it used to. Maybe the exchange rate is still the same, but the progress in the country and the way that things are coming along, the fact that things are going to start to cost a little more is going to not necessarily rub every foreigner the right way. If you can afford it, it probably means nothing to you. But because I kind of float on the edge of, I lived that Philippine lifestyle, I was a college student there, and because I kind of know how the trend is going, and I've been there when it was at its highest, or when the money was at its peak at like 55, 56, to where it's trending to as low as 30 and some change, like 37 pesos to the dollar, to seeing where, the progress is happening in the country. Because I'm seeing it as it unfolds, I'm starting to realize that average foreigner will no longer want to nor desire to come to the Philippines because it's going to become extremely unaffordable. And I believe that us as foreigners, we have ourselves to blame for it. Yeah, OFWs making money, sending money to the country, that contributes. Probably, I'm not going to say that contributes the most, but sending money back home, because that is the main GDP, or the gross domestic product, coming from out of the country into the country, or the influx of money coming into the country. I'm not saying that's the biggest deal, but foreigners coming here and doing all of this extra shit, and I'm being extra as hell. That is literally going to drive us to no longer desire to come here. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just the truth, and this is the way it's going to be. All right. So again, guys, I appreciate y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc. Just spending some time with my people today, having some fun, drinking out the red Solo cup. Give me a second. The doc was a bit parched after going through his nonsense and saying what was on his mind. But I see we got 16 watching. I appreciate all 16 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc. Highly appreciate it. You got one rule: caress, molest, and distress that like button. Excuse me. It wants it, it needs it, it most definitely has to have it. And of course, if you guys want to support the good doc and all of his adventures and all of the new ventures that will be coming soon, please feel free to do so. But of course, the good doc is happy that you come through. Spend just a little bit of time with him today. I guess it's time for me to go to the chat box and say what up to my folk. Appreciate all of y'all coming through. My man Chris says that the bar girls have to eat too. Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with eating them, but damn, man, these motherfuckers be taking it a step higher than they have to. That's my only problem. Y'all do the most for no reason. Y'all foreigners are the most extra individuals I've ever met in my whole entire life. Foreigners are the most extra I've ever met in my whole entire life, but it's all good. MD says, I agree that the Philippines will be unaffordable, but there will always be somewhere else to go. I just hope that women are hot too, because that's the main reason why most foreigners travel in the first place. True. Keith Jones, what's going on with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. My man Chris says, just start moving from El Chapo. I'm sure you'll have the money you need. Start moving bricks like El Chapo. Yeah, man, I won't be able to enjoy it, but hey, to each their own, man. Francois, what's going on, man? He says Thailand is already unaffordable, but many idiots still want to live there. I mean, well, the thing with Thailand, from what I've heard, is they just like the retirement visa and all of that stuff. That's what they're making the changes on. If you basically go to Thailand, then it's just for like vacation. I didn't know if it was expensive or not. I've never been, and because it'll be my first time going to the Philippines or first time going to Thailand, I won't be able to compare it to anything. So again, it may be expensive now, but I'll only know it at whatever the actual price is too. But yeah, there are still a lot of guys who still want to go to Thailand, and Thailand sounds like it's not too bad, but we'll see. SML was good with you, man. My man, Mr. Philippines, he says it will lose value harder than Thailand as a tourist destination. The Philippines is probably going to crash and crash hard. You can expect that to come. I'm giving it a decade. It may happen sooner than that, but I'm just going to say from 2020 to 2030, let's see what this trend goes towards. I want to make sure that this particular live stream will be a talking point for things that may happen in the years to come, okay? I want to resort back to this particular video when I told you motherfuckers that in the next 10 years, and I'm only giving it 10 years, the Philippines will become a less desirable destination, aka a less affordable destination for your average foreigner. Operative word there is average, not to all foreigners, but your average foreigner. Shout out to my boy Malcolm, Mr. MJ being the place to be. 20 watching, yo, y'all better be getting them likes up. I don't have time to be coming at y'all with that nonsense, but we'll see. My man Francois says, personally, I want to return to Africa, but here in Mindanao, expand business first. Philippines economy is trembling in the next 10 years. Foreigners from poor countries, USA, EU, to work here and to do business here the right way. Okay. I mean, like I said, in the next 10 years, we'll have to see where the trend goes. Jedi, what's good with you, man? Pedro, appreciate you. JD, man, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through, man. He says that's what's happening in Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. It happened in Brazil. Foreigners like to put themselves in this, I want to say, oh, damn, I don't know the word. Is that? I'm sorry, I missed the word, JD. My bad. I can't read English. My bad. But yeah, man, Philippines is going to be the next stop, bro. I'm sorry. I predict you see it happening in Thailand. It's only inevitable that the Philippines becomes the next place that this particular narrative happens in. In the next 10 years, I predict the Philippines will no longer be a place desired by your average foreigner, number one, and it'll probably be unaffordable for your average foreigner. I'm saying that, and I'm going to keep saying it until I can't say it no more. But again, I'm the type of person, man, you better rock this sumbitch till the wheels fall off, because as soon as the wheels fall off, you better go somewhere else, and you better have another place in mind. Shout out to my boy Pedro. Appreciate you coming through. My man Malcolm says some dudes don't care how expensive it gets. They blow the last dollar on it just for their happiness. Yeah, some people don't care, but I do, right? See, the thing is, I care about the country. I care about the welfare of the country, but I also do care about what happens to foreigners in the process. Whether you believe it or not, Dr. Mike loves the kids, okay? People who are like my children, you love to be able to educate them on, coming to the country, but it just doesn't seem to be the narrative that everybody follows. Everybody has their own way of going about things. I myself included, I'm no different, but, I feel like the tourism is booming right now. In the next 10 years, I wonder if the same amount of tourists that are coming into the country during this particular era is going to be the same in the next decade. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. And the reason that I don't see it is because this is going to become a place that is no longer desirable for your average. Like I said, 10 years in the game, I've seen prices change way more than I thought they ever would. But again, that's what happens, man. I mean, it's a part of progress. It's a part of change. Sometimes change is good. Sometimes change is bad. It just depends on how you look at it. John Thomas, what's good, man? He says inflation will occur over time, but no existing middle class in the Philippines means foreigners are the wealthy class automatically. Okay. My man Chris says, I was going to go to Thailand, but I'm low-key scared. I don't think you should be scared to go, man. I say take a 2-week vacation and be good. Pedro says average foreigner makes 30K, so I know they will be fine in the Philippines. Okay. Even in the next 10 years, let's hope that average does remain the same. Let's hope that it doesn't increase. Francois says Thailand, 400 to 500 pesos a beer. Girls are off the charts, so why go there, especially if the locals hate you? You can't go where you're hated, man, because you're probably not going to make your way out of that country. That's pretty scary. Excuse me. So my man Alaskan Whiskey says, I don't know if I want to live in the Philippines or Thailand. I say take a vacation both places and figure it out. Pedro says the way the Koreans are investing, maybe. Y'all do know that one of the main foreigners or group of foreigners that are really killing the economy right now is probably your other Asian comrades. Those from Korea and Japan, they're pretty much killing it. Or your guys from the Middle East. Those guys with money that come into the Philippines, oh, they are killing the game. And they are really making it difficult. I don't know where they get their money from, but they got it. And they are killing it. It's not really the foreigners that you believe that are killing it more than the ones that I just mentioned. They really do know how to spend money here. Probably more so than I'm not gonna go there. Probably more so than ourselves. Are 100% correct. Them K-pop dudes is killing the game. They got money. It's like they shit money, man. I'm sorry, man. They got money out the ass, and I don't know where they be getting it from. I don't care, but I be thinking to myself, man, the way that they spend money in the country is ridiculous. They are making it unaffordable in their own way. I will say that and leave it at that. Malcolm says it's not even the expense part. It could get saturated like the DR one day, and it's because of dusty, musty, and crusty foreigners. Stop the dust in 2020. I'm with you on that one. Hashtag stop the dust, because they be fucking it up. My man Jedi says if the Sims keep coming from the U.S. and other Western countries and being suckered into buying way overpriced condos, then we will be lucky to see other 10 years of affordable economy. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think that they're going to continue to do the exact same thing. Pedro says, go to Africa before it's too late. Yes, I believe that. I'm with you on that one, man. You got to go home. We're going to go home before it's too late. So my man Red says, I think it will be bad for the locals. Look at how bad things have become in the U.S. The wealth gap is growing rapidly. Agreed, 100%. Jedi says Thailand is way overpriced now. Never been, so I don't know, but I'm going to take your word for it because you're not the only one that has predicted or, preached that particular narrative. So I'm with you on that one. Caveman says, well, let us all advertise a different country and then we say in the Philippines and keep it a secret. I'm with that one, man, but I got to find another country that I'm really ready to go to. MD says, I can see foreigners continue to go to Thailand with the way the Chinese and Korean people are overpaying for places in the Philippines. I only see trouble in the near future. Oh, it's coming. If it hasn't gotten here yet, it's coming. It is on its way. Francois says Thailand just made a marketing campaign in the media blackout for foreigners getting murdered, robbed, and imprisoned daily. That's just scary. That shit is scary. My man says most tourists don't mind having a premium. It's only 4 weeks as usual. Nah. Oh, a Pasorian. All right, JD. Damn, I'm so slow. I'm sorry. Thank you. Foreigners pee on the locals in the beginning, but they get peed on later as they have to leave. I got you. I'm sorry. I just couldn't get the word out. Pasorian. I hope I'm saying that right. Francois says Africa is my home and it's booming. So yes, it will slot in on the ride. South Africa sounds like a great place to go. So other countries cater more to foreigners. That's true. Christopher says, I'm glad I'll be watching your videos so I don't go out there and simp out. Please don't. Please stop the simping in 2020, people. Please. Francois, 3 of my friends have been murdered in Thailand. That is unfortunate, man. And I'm sorry to hear that. He said he had a gun in his face twice, been attacked with a machete in a coffee shop. This is not worth it, man. That shit ain't worth it, bro. Eddie Jackson, what's good with your family? Appreciate you coming through. Them K-pop dudes, Keith, man, they be killing the game though. I can't do it. My man Michael says Japanese girls are always unavailable in their country. A lot due to the okay, I didn't know that, but to each their own. I'm not saying that it's not true. He said they get that money from the weave shop. Yeah, they get their money from somewhere. Shit. Man, Keith Jones, yes, them Asian guys, they drink us under the table. I've never seen, they must have a liver that is so messed up because they drink, and when they drink hard. And they don't just drink regular liquor, they drink the hard shit. They do like red horses back to back. I've seen Asians drink. The Koreans, they will drink you under the table and then wake up the next day like nothing ever happened. They are heavy drinkers. Like the ones that I know, I've been to clubs and shit and I've seen Koreans drink. They are not to play with, bro. And yeah, I'm scared. I can't drink with them. They do way more than I'm ready to do, man. Alaska Whiskey says there are plenty of foreigners who will live there comfortably. Don't be a broke person and actually make decent money, and you'll be fine in Thailand and Asia. True, but we're talking about your average guy. Most of the time, it's not going to work. Dennis, Philippines could be shut out to poor retired foreigners like Thailand has just done, making mandatory health insurance for entry for retirees. True that. My bad, guys. Anyways, my man SML says O'Shea just gave you a shout out. Hey, man, shout out to my big brother O'Shea and my boy Jay, Black American Expat. If they're doing a show together, that is awesome. I just literally got on, so we're good. To each their own. You know, we popping over here. But shout out to my people, man. Appreciate that. My man MJB says Japanese dudes and other Asian dudes come to the Philippines to either take advantage of their poor situation, or it is genuine love and interest and is worried about it being, and not worried about it being unaffordable. Possibly. My boy Jamal was good with you, bro. Edward Crandell was good with you, man. He says, hey, bro, I'm just getting back from Cavite, Philippines 2 weeks ago. I hope it is still affordable when I retire there in 7 years. I pray for your sake that it is too. My boy Kim Jong Barack was good with you, man. He said stop playing with me. My boy Dave Chappelle is coming to Manila to perform in January. Why am I just hearing about this shit now? Oh, I can't. I might be able to make it, but his tickets might not be cheap. BK was good with you, bro. He says, I want nothing when I drink myself drunk. You truly don't. Ryan was good. He says, hey, Doc, what makes you say it's going to be unaffordable in 10 years? The reason that I said that in a nonchalant way, kind of an average generalization, no data, no stats. I'm saying that if you think about it in hindsight, the way that foreigners are spending in the country now, it's going to become the new baseline. So the baseline is just going to start to increase. And after a while, the basic prices for services and foods and goods and shit are going to become less and less affordable for your average foreigner. So over time, I believe that in the next decade or so, it's really not going to be a desirable place for foreigners to go, simply because it's going to cost more than they originally thought. We always talk about how the Philippines is affordable and how your money goes a long way. But I've kind of changed the narrative and say that your money goes a little bit further than it does in your average country. But when your money is no longer going as far as it did in the beginning, foreigners are no longer going to want to come to the Philippines. All right. So with that being said, Doc needs to take a split break. Guys, get the likes up on the video. 29 watching. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it. It needs it. Most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support the good Doc on his ventures, please feel free to do so. But of course, he is happy that you come through, spend a little bit of time with him today. Nayon Den. If you look in the description area below, I should have my ebooks listed. If you haven't gotten the Doc's ebooks, you are sleeping on probably some of the best books ever written by mankind. The best books in 2019. Damn sure the best ones coming out in 2020. I appreciate y'all for those that actually did read the books. BOOTYLOO Chronicles, probably the best book ever written. My second favorite book would be what was the fucking second favorite book? The Prescription for Guys Interested in Dating Filipino Women. Those are my two favorite books. If you haven't gotten them, y'all need to start. Y'all need to stop sleeping. It'll be the best book to give yourself for the Christmas and the holiday season. All right, I done plugged my shit. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Shit. Let me go back because I'm missing shit. Michael V says, hell of a title, Mike, but perhaps you are right. I might be right. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I predict I'm not saying that I have evidence that this is going to be, I see it, but there is no factual based numbers that are going to tell me that is going to be accurate. I just believe in my heart of hearts right here in the center of my core that I am 100% on point with this shit. You don't have to agree with me. Just let me say my piece and then you can go on about your business. All right. You can debate me all day long. It's just a prediction. I'm not saying it's 100% factual. It's just my thoughts. My man Keith says them K-pop dudes go to the club with a hairstyle the girls go crazy for, and the pockets to go crazy for as well. My man Dennis says, haven't done much research on Africa. The good places is Namibia, Botswana, Tanzania, Togo, Ghana, and Angola. I will put those on my list of places to potentially check out in the future. Man, Malcolm, them tickets, man. I don't know what them ticket prices are looking like, but I would love to see Dave Chappelle if I could go. Michael V says a lot of things are already expensive there. That's true. It's only going to get worse. We know that. We know that. Michael V says, plus the internet is horrible. Yes, Caveman says, Doc, the Philippines will be taken over by scuba divers. You and this damn scuba diving. I love you, man. You will not let scuba diving go. But hell, we might be living under the sea like we're damn Aquaman after a while if we don't stop playing with these prices. Maybe under the sea will be the best place to get new real estate. So, yeah, might be right. All right, we're just making predictions, people. My boy Ghost, what's going on with you, man? He says, other Philippine vloggers, much of the country looks like it's covered in mold. Even the hotels look like they haven't been updated since the 80s with no investment. Why unaffordable? Because the prices are going to go up, but they're not going to. See, that's a great, you bring up a great point. A lot of the older stuff isn't being remodeled or made to look great. So who knows where the money is going, but just know that they are not focused on that particular narrative as it pertains to upgrading the country. They're just concerned about how much money can we get from these foreigners by the increase in prices of services and goods rendered, not necessarily the investment in hotels and places like that. They're not looking to get foreigners that way. Condos and stuff like that, yeah, probably the way to go about, you know, parting a foreigner from him and his cash. That's the best way I see it. My man Chris says, what is a good price for a bar girl? Chris, you're going to have to holler at me offline about that one. I can't really discuss that online. People are going to think I'm crazy because there is a philosophical approach that you take to shit like that. It depends. There's too many variables and stuff like that. So I like to go about it in a funnier way. But I might make a video and put it on Patreon just for you, man. Jedi says, we will need to find some area somewhere else to go when the Philippines goes belly up. You better start thinking about that right now. Think about your next destination right now, okay? It's in your best interest. He said, David's going to be at the Solaire Theater. The cheapest ticket is $7,500. It looks like my ass is going to be in the $7,500 section if I choose to go. Probably not going to go. I'll probably just have to hear about it. But the Solaire, you guys know that is a very, very, very very elegant place to go. Don't show up to that place dressed like a bum if you're going to go, because that place is really fancy. That's a fancy place. My man Pedro says, how will the average survive if the prices go up? They won't. That's why they're not going to come. Once they start to realize that they have to bring more money than they have to the country, the average will no longer be able to afford to come to the Philippines. That's basically what we're talking about in this video. In the next 10 years, I predict the Philippines will no longer be affordable for the average foreigner. All right, that's what I truly believe. My man Earl Owens, what's going on with you guys? Damn, Doc actually caught up with the chat. I see you guys talking to yourselves, so I'm not really trying to get up into your conversation. But yeah, this is just my truth. This is just what I feel. At the end of the day, I believe that if we really, really, really want to change the narrative, I think it starts with us. But I don't think that once you've actually started doing things a certain kind of way, I doubt you'll be able to change it. I doubt you'll be able to change it. You're not going to be able to, how can I say this? You're not going to be able to stop spending as much as you've been spending. It sounds funny, but I think that you're not going to be able to change the narrative that way. So all I can do is wish you luck. Salute to all of my foreigners in the Philippines right now. Big salute to everybody who's been to the country. You guys know, for those that have been consistent travelers to the country, you guys are probably seeing the same things that I am. For those that haven't been consistent travelers, maybe you won't be affected by it. Your average foreigner, like I said, if you haven't been to the country, you have nothing to compare it to. So you can't say, oh, I remember when the price was like this, or oh, I remember when the price was like that, because you have no baseline to compare it to. All you know is what the new prices are right now. So you might be able to enjoy it without ever having to be affected, like some of people that I know, like some of the people that I do know. My man Malcolm says, if you dress fancy, you rich in some folks' eyes. You bet your ass, man. Like I said, the way you dress definitely sets the tone. And people will think you have more money than you do have. I believe that to be accurate. My man Kim Jong Barak says, Vietnamese women are not a walk in the park like in the Philippines. No, they're probably the hardest types of women to get. Likely. Philippines has lots of flaws. That's true. Minus the women and low cost, it's going to turn a lot of people away. I agree. And especially if it starts to get expensive, what are we going to do then? My man Pedro says, so how do you bring that many Filipinos out of poverty? No, that's a question for another video, and I'm not one to be able to speak on it. Even though I've been there, I feel like I need to keep all comments and concerns to myself. But in reference to the increase in the economy, I'm saying that things are starting to become more expensive. But what I do believe is it's not going to change the poverty line at all. Most people that are in that particular or follow along that particular line, they're probably going to stay at that particular line. And the reason that they're going to stay there is because the increase in the economy is only going to benefit a chosen few. I don't need to go into detail about it. I think you guys pretty much pick up what I'm putting down. But the benefits and the increase in the economy and the boost in the economy is not going to benefit all. It is only going to benefit a chosen few. Just like if you think about it in hindsight, how we'll just use this as an example. The taxes for businesses in the United States. I don't know all the details, so don't ask me. But if you think about it in hindsight, the way that they tax businesses in the U.S. and the way that they tax workers are completely different. There are so many different write-offs that you can put into a business tax, like, a business being taxed. You can write this off, you can write that off. And some people go into the point where they barely have to pay anything, as opposed to if you just have a regular job, you're going to have to pay whatever they tell you that you got to pay based off of taxes and stuff like that. So, you can see how having a business or being a businessman or being in that particular, type of industry can be beneficial to you based off of the write-ups. The same rules apply. If you are in an area where the economy is boosting in the Philippines, basically you can see who's going to be the people to benefit the most. That's basically what I'm saying. You'll be able to see who's going to benefit the most from this economic boom of foreigners coming into the country. And of course, the OFW sending money to the country. Of course, they tax it, not tax it, but of course they get their fees. I shouldn't say tax it because it's not taxed, but they're going to get their fees off of the money being sent into the country. And it's not going to boost the poverty line at all. Not at all. My man Pedro says it will be hard and they are not like China. I don't know, man. I don't see there being too much of a turnaround for your average in the country. Also, loads of countries in Europe are cheap to live. East Europe, Bulgaria, Romania, South Europe, Spain, and Portugal. Haven't been there yet. Pedro says, what will support their economy? Your guess is as good as mine, man. Prices will rise and then they will crash. Maybe, man. I'm not one to know. Francois, great point, man. Infrastructure in Mindanao is basically growing along great roads, internet, etc. Only complaint is that it's going too fast. Would rather have a simple life here, but it's too late because your boy Duterte is pumping in many and billions. Yes, he's putting a lot of money into the Mindanao region. The Mindanao region could definitely support itself if it wanted to. If it wanted to do a Brexit, where Britain exit type of situation, I think they said that the Mindanao region could support itself without help from the rest of the Philippines. That's what the mayor or the president said at one time. And he might be right. Most of the resources probably do come from the more rural provincial areas in the Mindanao region. Malcolm says, how do you feel about cryptocurrency or digital currency in the Philippines, such as coins.ph app? I don't know, man. I can't really say that I have any feelings towards it. For those that are able to invest in it and make it work for them, I pray that they reap the benefits that they need to. I haven't gotten into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and I'm hoping to get into it probably in the first quarter of next year, just to give it a try. Not going to put too much money into it, but I want to see how it works out for myself. I have a little bit of expendable income, or, I have a little income on the side that I can afford to put into something to see if it works, but I'm going to have to see the best way of going about it. I can't just trust everybody at their word, because some people can't be trusted. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, man. I'm not much of a gambler though, Francois, but I'm willing to give myself an opportunity at something. All right. That's what I will say. You said crypto would become standard in Africa. Cool. Bitcoin and crypto are crashing bad. It's 50% less now than it was this time last year. Okay, so if I get it at 50% less, doesn't it? Oh, well, Jedi says you got to stay out of crypto. All right, man, I guess I got to find something else to do. I need to find logical investments. I'm not looking to put in a lot of money because the doc doesn't have a lot of expendable cash, but I'm looking to get into something. And if I could talk to some of my investor financial people, we'll have conversations offline about that. All right, we'll definitely have to take that out. We'll check it out later. Hey, Thomas, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming through. He says, Francois, you might be right. Mindanao is the best place in the Philippines. You just have to have the gonads to go and see for yourself. I'm a Davao guy to the day that I die, and yeah, I love it. He said, FB Google all into crypto. I don't know, man. I would rather get something on a ground floor level. I want to get into something that is new. I'm trying to get into some new shit so I can get it at IPO or initial public offering. I want to be able to get things at the ground level and see how it flourishes from there. Anything else outside of that, it's not going to work. And how it pertains to the Philippines being unaffordable for your average in the next 10 years. Like I said, man, if you're not finding ways to really, how can I say this? If you're not finding the ways to really create more forms of income for yourself, that's going to definitely lead to you guys not being able to live and or afford the Philippines. Oh, gold always, man. I am a gold guy. Jedi, I own gold. I have a couple of pieces, but I'm looking to go into the Middle East and get some bars. I really do want them bars, man. I love gold bars. Just to look at them, I wouldn't even buy them to sell them, but I definitely want them because they sell for the cheap. I think they're the cheapest in Dubai, but Kuwait, I think they're really expensive. In Saudi, I think they might be expensive to buy gold there. But I'm definitely interested in getting gold too, because gold is the currency that never goes out of style. It doesn't really decrease in price either. I've only seen it increase in price since my dad bought it many, many years ago. And he educated me on why you should have gold. Malcolm says, I can tell you e-commerce is saturated and it's almost hard to make a few dollars. Yes, man. All these people talking about, oh, you could do FBLA or some shit like that. Like, I don't know shit. Get your own Shopify store, sell this and sell that. I don't like that shit because it's not fair. You got all these people perpetuating that this is the way to do business. That's just it's not plausible, especially when there's everybody in there and everybody's basically telling you the exact same thing to do. Get into eBay reselling, get into this, get into that. I promise you it's going to work. Yes, it works for a chosen few. But where they get you at is they're like, well, man, you got to be dedicated, man. And if you're dedicated, you can make $100,000 a year. That sounds really good, but trust me, not everybody's making $100,000 a year if y'all all in the same market selling the same damn thing. That's only for the chosen few that are really making it happen. So that's probably not a plausible way to think that you're going to be able to travel the world and, yeah, let me do this and let me do that while I'm sitting in this country. I could do it. Let me just make this 3-page ad and, I can sell it and make $9,000 off of some shit. What? That shit just don't even seem logical. It don't even seem real. Oh, but if you don't believe me, just try my course. Linked in the description area below. They be trying to sell that shit, and it be a lot of them. I see those particular ads just about every time I come online. Every time I watch a video, that shit gets me. There's one guy that I did like to watch, and he was more about trying to help build your YouTube channel because, you know, that's kind of what I like to do. I want to try to make this into something great, but, you know, you got to take time with that. You just got to see what's going to happen. Shout out to my boy Danny. What's going on, bro? He said, who is it going to be affordable for? Average people. the above average foreigner, I guess. Malcolm says, I wouldn't do it because problem is a lot of things behind it requires a huge following, even to send out emails. Exactly. That shit, you can't, I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it. It just doesn't seem plausible for somebody like me. If I'm going to do something, I want to be in a place, in a space where I'm one of very few. You're right, Malcolm. It's 100% saturated. And I don't see that being beneficial to everybody involved. Jedi says, when the US dollar takes a dive, watch gold skyrocket. I'm giving you some gold though, no cap. Thomas says, and they sell you their courses on how to do it, not how to make good money. There you go. I got to pay $1,000 for a course, $500 for a course that may or may not work out. I don't know, man. It's just not for me, bro. It's not for me. And some are scam artists, Malcolm. I'm with you. I'm not going to tell you who's a scam artist and who is not because I don't know. I don't invest in their shit. It's just not for me. I would rather find something that I can do for me. Even if that means a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, just taking some shit and flipping it, that's different. I like that. I can do that. I've been pretty good at doing that. But it doesn't always register, the same with, you know, this whole let me sell a whole furniture bedroom set on eBay, then go to the actual seller, put in that person's address and have them send it to the seller's house. You don't think people have caught on to that shit by now? You know, it just doesn't seem logical because a lot of what people believe to be true and working, your average person is caught on to that. I wouldn't say it's a scam, but your average person is caught on to that stuff. So you got to work on that one. Caveman says, I think it will be a lot longer than 10 years if you head out further into the islands, but you will have less infrastructure. Just enjoy the quiet, simple life in the middle of nowhere. Drop shipping, Thomas. Thank you. That's the shit. Yeah, that drop shipping shit don't work all the time. People know about drop shipping. They know that you're probably getting them on the price and stuff. That's why you can't really trust that. People are not stupid. Your average person is not dumb. They know about that. They know about all this good shit. Keith says the K-pop people are rich. I'm with you. Danny says invest in Punan like the locals. They get the girl to sell it at the end of the day. It is still theirs. Well, I'm gonna have to say, nah, I'm good. But it's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Till that shit wears out, then we're messed up. Malcolm says funny. Some of those are either scam schemes or pyramid schemes. Yep, you can miss me with all that. My man Michael V says, if you have a legitimate skill, you could do it online besides English teaching. It will be okay for you there. I'm talking about web design, graphic design, or copywriter. Yes, those types of things, genuine skill into something, not trying to pick up something online and developing it into something. Yeah, no. Shit don't work that way, man. Shit does not work that way. But yeah, you got to have a legitimate skill or something to be able to invest into, like a craft. IT is the way to go. I'm not going to lie. The information technology field is the way to go. If you could do coding and shit like that, that's always a good business. That's something you could do anywhere in the world. Develop games and all that stuff. You could do that from anywhere in the world. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. My man says an invitation to diving school. Not everybody's in the diving. You're not going to make a lot of money on that unless you've been able to tap into a market of people who like to dive. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, but if it works for you, man, I'll support you. Skills and services rendered. Touche. Daniel Tanner, what's good with you, bro? Michael V said, excuse me. Michael V says, all these guys are going into English teaching their online. It's a bubble that will burst soon. Yeah, I like English teaching. It's something easy to get into in the moment. But again, if you don't, how can I say this? If you don't find something else to get into, yeah, it's likely going to crash sometime soon. And it's no longer going to be an industry that will be able to support your lifestyle overseas. You got to be able to have those multiple forms of income. No doubt in my mind. It has to be multiple. Michael V, you're funny. I'm going to leave that one alone. Danny says, invest in the West and spend in the East. True, most guys never do well because they don't have a plan and fail to plan and plan to fail. My man Malcolm says, I would say just start your own business or hustle with something small into something bigger like clothes. Always start small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. And I believe that starting small, getting an idea of what's really popping or getting an idea of what's really people are really into, and then taking it and recycling it and recycling it over and over and over again until you grow it. There's nothing wrong with that, but not everybody's into that one. Too many English teachers online. He said more and more people like Filipinos or even Chinese will undercut the price. Thomas says Westerners head to the East to teach English, only for the Easterners to head west. Ain't that about a bitch? But that does make sense. I'm with you on that one. Malcolm, I don't think I'm good enough to be a Nigerian scam artist. I don't think I'm that good. I'm sorry. I don't think that's me. All right. Seems like I've caught up in the chat. Thank you guys for coming through and showing love to the good doc. I appreciate you being here. I see we got 30 watching. I appreciate up 30 doc. You know what I ask? Caress, molest, and distress yourself all over that like button. Damn, it wants it. It needs it. Most definitely has to have it. Get the likes up. That's what I need. Can somebody give me a like to dislike counter? Because I kind of need that right now. I need to see where I stand with my people, because I know y'all like to play games with me, because y'all like to be bullshitting when the doc ain't paying attention when I'm trying to do a show. Nobody likes to get the likes up. I can have 30 plus people and like 5 likes. What y'all do? Y'all could at least, if you don't like the video, you could at least dislike it if you want to. But at the end of the day, I'm here to entertain. I'm here 22-0. Okay. Shit. How about that? I got 22 likes. That's awesome, man. More than I expected, but I appreciate it. This is a logical topic of conversation. 25 now. Much love to y'all coming through and showing love, getting the likes up on the video. I really want you guys to understand that I'm a big advocate for helping you guys understand what the market is like here in the Philippines. And again, I want you to understand that for the average foreigner, my personal prediction is and always will be that that the Philippines in the next 10 years will become unaffordable for your average foreigner coming to the Philippines. All right. I believe that prices are going to steadily increase. I believe that certain infrastructural designs or ideas, the way that they're building up and progressing as a country, it's great, it's fantastic, but I often think about what does that mean for the average foreigner. The average foreigner is no longer going to be able to afford to come. You can agree to disagree. It's all good. I just like to do what I do. Red Lord, man, I appreciate you taking the initiative, man. I'll appreciate that. My man said I got 2 likes in from the phone and the TV. So much love and appreciation to you guys for that. But yeah, man, I just like to think out loud. If you guys haven't noticed, that's what I do best. I like to think out loud. I like to have conversations with myself as well as with my people, because you guys may see things that I miss. You guys may make comments that will help me to expand my narrative, or you may say, well, Doc, I can agree with you, but I feel like it may not be like this necessarily. And if that's the case, I love being able to hear from you guys. So I thank you for coming through and being a part of the team, man. I mean, you guys could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you've chosen to spend just a little bit of time with this black motherfucker right here. And it is always appreciative, and it comes from the heart, man. So I know that the holiday season is coming up, man. I want to wish you guys a happy holidays. I definitely want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. I should probably do a live stream before the new year comes. Maybe, possibly. That's a big possibility. I'm not sure. But again, if I don't see you or I don't hear from you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you guys. If you're listening in, I know you guys got families and shit to do. You got other places to be than to be kicking it with this dude. So I want to make sure that I at least get that greeting out to you guys now, just in case I'm not able to catch you guys at a later date. I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my day started. Thomas says tutoring for university students is good also if you hold a degree in the West. Yeah, Thomas, they're really open to that idea too. They have companies, but those companies choose to get tutoring from the locals. It sounds weird though, but I've noticed that some of the local universities like to hire locals, even if it is for like tutoring in English and stuff like that. They like to hire local, to provide jobs for the local people. So I can't really be mad at that. All right. My man Malcolm says, which can mean jeepney rides and other forms of transportation could go up as well. Can't be mad. Folks have to live their lives everywhere. Agreed. Earl Owens, big Merry Christmas to you, my friend. My man Jedi says, last time I was in Iloilo, they were trying to sell me a 2-bedroom condo in the mall. They were asking $7 million. I said, you are insane. I could buy a home in a first world country for that price. That's funny. That's funny. And it's amazing that you actually can, because what is $7 million? That's a little bit over $100,000 US. Now you could buy like 2 damn houses in the US for like that kind of money, but you could definitely buy a better one than probably what they're selling you with some low cut, like what can I say? Not low cut pricing, but with the low cut use of materials and shit. You just never know, bro. You just never know. Stay on your P's and Q's. I say rent as long term as you possibly can. Buying and locking down yourself in a property may not always be your best bet. All right. So before I leave, let me go ahead and shout my people out real quick before I go ahead and get my day started. Didn't want to be on very long. A lot of people don't like live streams, so if they don't catch it, they're probably not going to watch the replay. All right. So if you're in the building and you want your shout out and I miss you, please leave it down at the bottom. I'll make sure I take care of it. So my boy Jedi, much love to you, brother. Earl Owens, always a pleasure. My boy Malcolm, appreciate you being there. He says you could be like Ren and go out on a whim, start a boat business, but not everyone wants a business for that matter. He says, when I get there, I will rent and buy a Ninja 650. Oh, those motorcycles are awesome, bro. But shout out to my people, Earl Owens, Jedi, Malcolm, my boy Red Lord, my man Thomas. Much love to you, brother. If I miss your name, leave it at the bottom. Caveman, Michael V, always a pleasure. Danny, always good to see you, brother. Daniel Tanner, good to see you, my brother. Keith Jones, appreciate you being here for the good doc. Pedro, always good to see you, my brother, from all the way up north in Canada. Francois, man, it's good to see you on here, brother, man. I would love to have you on for a live stream one day, if we could ever make that happen. Mr. Philippines himself. MD, always a pleasure, man. BK, I see you, man. I appreciate you. Who else we got? We got El Ghost. Thank you for being here. My boy Kim Jong Barack. Love the name, by the way. My boy Christopher Lewin from my backyard. Appreciate you shouting out the home city. Dennis, appreciate you being here, man. Ryan, is it Sinzone? God dang it. If I fuck your name up, bro, it's not on purpose. But Ryan, I appreciate you. Are you my boys, Ryan? That was on the live with me yesterday, man, or the other day? If you are, man, shout out to you, bro. SML, always a pleasure. Alaska Whiskey, man. Appreciate you guys being here. Shit. Eddie Jackson, I see you, family. Thank you for being here. Jetty Orca, always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays to all of you, man. I want you to know that. John Thomas, appreciate you being here. I got to shout you all out. All right, that's it, people. I think I've gotten everybody in the worst way humanly possible. My man Jedi says many homes in Kern County, California are selling at about 120, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and they're detached homes. Interesting. Not a condo. Looking forward to possibly meeting you if at all. Hey man, I'm trying to make it happen. Shit get busy around here, man. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you don't have time to sit down and take a break. Only time I actually have time to sit down and take a break is when I'm talking to y'all. Because as soon as I get off, I got shit I got to take care of. So much love to all of you guys, man, for sure. Jedi, I'm going to try my best to stay safe. Don't plan on getting into any trouble, that's for sure. Happy holidays to all of you guys, man. Red Lord, appreciate you. Love all of you guys. Malcolm, always a pleasure, man. It's been fun. It's been real. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. I've had a good one. It's been a good road. But Doc's got to go ahead and call it. Probably going to take me a nap because I'm old. Take me a mid-morning nap. Has been fun, has been real, but you know what time it is? It's time for the good doc to go. So with that being said, the good doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.